this is a major red alert. We now have people in the highest levels of government warning us that DNA weapons are on the way. DNA weapons are on the way. And this actually coincides with what just happened with one of the biggest DNA database leaks in history that we just had on 23andMe. All right, so all this stuff is coalescing together, and now we have a top U.S. representative saying that DNA weapons are coming that can target specific individuals and target groups of people as well. All right, we are entering a very dangerous phase of what's going on, and the possibilities are endless. Okay, and we are talking about potentialities here. These things don't exist yet, but we are talking about what could happen in the future with DNA databases being leaked and getting into the wrong hands. All right, and we're going to play exactly what this congressman said. Representative Jason Crow from Colorado. He's on the House Intelligence Committee, and he gave a devastating warning of what is coming next for potentially the American people. All right, this could target any group of people on Earth and any type of nationality, and all the way down to specific people. He's saying that these bioweapons can be created for, potentially. All right, so very dangerous stuff that we are dealing with. We are moving into a dystopian future, and we need to say no. We do not want to be a part of this, but it might be too late. Might be too late. The Pandora's box might already be opened, and this might be the next big thing. And think of, if something like this did happen, think of the repercussions for lockdowns as well. All right, we've already seen the world lockdown before. What if we see even bigger and more devastating lockdowns from a specific bioweapon, a DNA weapon that is targeting specific groups of people? That's what's in the cookers right now that they're cooking up in the background. And this top congressman just came out and warned us. All right, so I want you to just listen to what he said, and I'm not going to show the whole video. I'll show you a still from the video. Okay, he was at this conference. This is a rep from Colorado, and he was at the Aspen Security Forum last Friday, and his name is Jason Crow, and he is a rep for Colorado, and this is the devastating warning that he just gave. All right, so you need to listen very carefully to what he's saying, because this could affect anyone on Earth. And if you have used, and then we're going to get into how 23andMe was just hacked as well. All right, the biggest DNA database potentially on Earth, 23andMe, just had a massive hack of their DNA data. And even if you didn't take these tests, your data, your DNA is still compromised. They can connect people all the way to third cousins, I was reading. So even if your third cousin somewhere down the road that you don't even know they exist, they took this DNA test and sent it to 23andMe, your DNA could potentially be mapped out, at least partially, and be connected and be at risk. All right, so this could potentially affect everyone in the U.S. just from having degrees of separations like this that they can track, and potentially globally this could go if we keep seeing more DNA databases leaked, because people are just sending this stuff in. People are sending this stuff in. But look at what this guy said, and we'll get to more details of the 23andMe hack in just a minute. But listen to what this U.S. congressman just warned of, and he even brings up 23andMe. He's alluding that, yeah, this could be happening, and you need to be careful if you did this, and even if your third cousin did this, you need to be careful. All right, so listen to what he said here. This is devastating. All right.
Yeah, so to be clear, I think one of the things we're talking about here is that there are now weapons under development and developed that are designed to target specific people. Right, that's what this is, where you can actually take someone's DNA, take their medical profile, and you can target a biological weapon that will kill that person or take them off the battlefield or make them inoperable. So you can't have a discussion about this without talking about privacy and commercial data and the protection of commercial data, because expectation.
So we're going to play the rest of it in just a second, but did you hear that? He said specific DNA weapons could be made to kill specific people and could be used in military situations as well. This is extremely dangerous given the situation that we're in right now. This could be unleashed onto our military. This could be unleashed onto the American people. Potentially, all these things are potentialities. I'm not saying these things are happening, but the risk is there right now with this 23andMe hack. And listen to what he says too. He's going to bring it up here in just a second.
Of privacy have degraded over the last 20 years. Young folks actually have very little expectation of privacy. That's what the polling and the data show. And people will very rapidly spit into a cup and send it into 23andMe and get really interesting data about their background. And guess what? Their DNA is now owned by a private company and can be sold off with very little intellectual property protection or privacy protection. And we don't have legal and regulatory regimes to deal with that. So
there's no regulation.
We have to have an open and public discussion, and this is going to have to be a political discussion about what does the protection of healthcare information, DNA information, and your data look like, because that data is actually going to be procured and collected.
All right, so did you hear that? He's saying that there's no regulations around this either. They could technically just be selling this data to whoever they want, but now it's been exposed to bad actors. At least they're admitting at least 4 million people have been exposed to this. All right, but the thing is that 4 million can turn into 400 million people very quickly with this third cousin, this 2 or 3 degrees that they can track your DNA. It could turn into hundreds of millions of people, 1 billion people very quickly have their DNA exposed. All right, so this is the world that we are living in, and this is a U.S. congressman warning this at a security forum in Aspen. All right, this is Rep. Jason Crow from Colorado, and he's on the U.S. House Intelligence Committee. So this is serious stuff. This isn't just some hypothetical that we are talking about. These are real potentialities that we need to be saying no to, because once this box is opened, how do we even fight back against this? And then if you just combine this too with things like insurance, okay, your insurance rates could skyrocket because all this information could just be made public, and now they know, oh, you have this gene susceptibility to diabetes or whatever, okay? Or maybe you have more links to cancer because of this other gene. These are the things that we are dealing with, and you could face higher insurance premiums, higher prices on your insurance because you do not have the correct DNA. This could be used to target any group of people on earth. This could be used to target, you want to target Irish people, okay? My name's Patrick and I'm Irish, all right? This could be used to target Irish people. This could be used to target people from any country on earth, right? And tapping into their DNA is very dangerous. And then using this, giving this information to the government as well, they could profile people. All these, they are solving crimes from 50 years ago with this 23andMe stuff, because just like I said, their cousin does it. There's some killer that got away 50 years ago, but their cousin took this DNA test and they're like, wait a minute, this DNA is very similar, and they start matching people to the DNA they had from this crime scene. This has happened to a ton of different people. And if you extrapolate that, then you could also be framed for things as well, right? It's good for solving crimes like that. But in the future, if they have your DNA imprint, they can make synthetic forms of your own DNA to be planted at certain scenes that you've never been in your life, okay? Nefarious actors, deep state actors, foreign state actors, multinational people like Bill Gates, okay? Any one of these people getting this technology in their hands is very dangerous, right? And it can be used against the American people. And that's just the soft version of it. The hard version of it is that this is some kind of bioweapon that they can release, and it will target specific people. It will only target who they want to take out. Whatever group they want to take out at that moment, they will take them out with this weapon, right? And that's exactly what he was warning of. And people have just given it away. They just gave it away, and it's too late. A lot of these things are too late. The digital prison has been built around us. So please hit it up for me down there to help get this video out to more people. People need to know about this, especially if you have any relative. Ask your relatives, did they do this 23andMe thing? Because you could be at risk of it, right? Your DNA could be at risk too, especially if it's immediate family members. They could map your DNA very clearly. Like if your brother, sister, mom, dad, anyone like that did it, they can map you very easily. And even some of the biggest banking dynasty families in world history, like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, they were even part of this. Their DNA was technically leaked in this 23andMe hack, right? So that's how serious this stuff is. It could be linked all the way to the top, all the way to the top, to the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. They can even have their own DNA exposed, and there could be people even making DNA weapons against them. Who knows? We don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. There could be these banking dynasties fighting each other, right? There could be these different globalist entities behind the scenes trying to take each other out, right? Trying to take each other out before they implement this new system. There could be a battle to see who's going to be in control of this new system that they're trying to implement, and this could be a part of it. This could be a threat. They're saying, hey, your DNA's been leaked, and it can be used as a weapon to target you specifically. Bunch of weird stuff going on. It was the Rothschilds as well, I believe. They just auctioned off a ton of their heirlooms, okay? All their family heirlooms, they're just auctioning them off. Very weird stuff's going on behind the scenes with these banking dynasties and these banking families. And we're at the end of this banking cycle, and that's why we are seeing major wars pop off. This is what they do when we're at the end of a major debt bubble, debt cycle. Countries normally start major wars. That's the only way that they can deal with it and cover it up and kind of wipe the slate clean. If there's a massive world war and we have to print $100 trillion to get out of it, after it's all said and done, if we survive, people will be happy to wipe it. They'll be like, let's just restart over. Let's start at zero. Let's wipe the debt clean. We just had to print that 100 trillion. We already printed. Think of what's already happened the past few years, how much money's. So think about if there's a massive world war, they're going to print $50 trillion in a year. If there's a massive world war and they have to shut everything down, the supply chains are shut down, they're going to, and that's going to be the excuse to restart everything, reset everything. So there could be a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, is what I'm saying. And there could be these banking dynasties kind of trying to fight one another, right? This is just speculation here. This is all possibilities we're talking here today, but this stuff is possible, and there's a lot of strange stuff. Why are they auctioning off all their heirlooms, all their family heirlooms, all this weird stuff? They're selling it all. It doesn't really make sense. Why wouldn't they keep this? They have plenty of money. You think they would keep these things that have been in their families for hundreds of years? Very strange. And now somehow their DNA was leaked in this 23andMe hack as well. All right, so make sure you are getting prepared. Get yourself stocked up. Get a generator. Get gas tanks filled up. Get your propane tanks filled up. It's been freezing here. It snowed just a tiny little bit. All right, and it's been just 35 degrees all day long. All right, and the sun's been blocked out, hazy. Winter's coming, and we could see amplifications with this winter as well. We could see extreme engineering as well going on. So please hit it up for me down there. get prepared, get your stuff filled up, get your prepper pantry ready, because they're getting us ready for something big. They could release one of these bioweapons, and it could lock the entire planet down if something like this is released. All right, so thank you guys so much. Please stay blessed. I hope you have big blessings for your family and your life, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.